When you look at real estate in the two key provinces in Canada where there's a lot of stuff going on, that being Ontario and British Columbia, when you look at it, the one thing that jumps out is that for certain kinds of housing products in certain regions, all hell's breaking loose. That's just the right way to look at it. We're talking about substantial increases in delinquencies, 90-day default, power of sale actions, foreclosure actions, court-ordered sale, every bad thing that can happen at the end of a housing cycle. But it's often important to understand how it's working out specifically, because the interesting part is in the whys and the hows and the wheres. So let's set aside the incredible rolling dog crate condo crash in 416 in Southern Ontario. I do a lot of work on that, and we know it's a disaster. We know it's going to keep being a disaster. We know that it's going to get worse, but we've covered it enough. Let's look at, I'm sure we're going to come back to it because there's going to be more craziness, but let's look at the other areas. What other parts of the province, what other types of properties are experiencing severe stress, like severe stress to the point where they've stopped making the mortgage payments and the court's going to sell the property and the lender's going to get their money back or not. And let's look at where those problems are concentrated. So the simple answer to that is usually not necessarily with a bank. Like you're hearing about, when you hear about delinquency and 90-day default now from banks on the uprise, it's true. It's based on location. Like in terms of all of Canada, not bad. GTA, more problems. Certain regions, more problems. Weirdly, Saskatchewan. Oh, what's going on? Saskatchewan has got some problems with foreclosure. But what is it that the problem is? So let's dig in. Rentals, particularly student rentals. Like I'm going to draw a circle around student rentals. We're seeing more evictions, court-ordered sales, power of sale actions in one suburb, Brampton, than we are in the entire city of Toronto, all of Metro Toronto, all of Toronto, period. So there's a disparity between the size of those two communities. It's like 6-1. So what's going on? Brampton became a hotbed of student rentals. The student rentals of the horrible kind, the kind that were created by, rat bastard operators of places like Conestoga College, like where 90% of their enrollment was foreign students from another country who were being tricked into 2-year certificates, paying big money for useless 2-year certificates on the secret promise of permanent residency. Yeah, all bad, all crooked. The true victims were the students. Don't listen to anybody who wants to, go through all the racist claptrap. It's the students were the victims here. They're all going back. They can't stay. They don't want to stay. Their degree is useless. They can't get permanent residence. This is a hellaciously expensive place to live in Southern Ontario. So they're leaving. They were taken advantage of. It's that simple. But everybody who in Brampton who sort of got together, bought a single family home, big money. But if you put 8 futons or 8 sleeping bags scattered throughout the house, and you're renting those for $800 a space, you can turn that very expensive house into profitable operation. But as soon as those students are gone, you are totally screwed because, 8 times 8 is $6,400 a month, and some of them were 10, so that's $8,000 a month. When you have to rent that property to a single family and it's maybe bringing $3,000 a month, you're done. Your mortgage payment's like $4,300, so you're finished. Okay. And you just walk away. You walk away from the property. And that's why there's so many of those kinds of foreclosure power sales going on in Brampton right now. Other places, like there's certain districts in London, Kitchener-Waterloo, where there's some pressure. There's some pressure in some, like one particular location in Guelph, a little bit in Hamilton. But yeah, and there's a version of pressure on anything that depended on this massive, huge 400,000 in 1 year influx of students into Ontario. They're getting crushed. What else is getting crushed? People who had a wrong plan for vacation properties. People who bought at very high prices in 2021, bought cottages, lakefront cottages, expensive. We're going to put them on Vrbo. We're going to put them on Airbnb. Expensive, beautiful places on Salt Spring Island or on one of the Gulf Islands, or cottages at Whistler, like ski chalets at Whistler, in condo units in Whistler, or in the little molehill that goes for a ski hill in Ontario at Blue Mountain. Like Whistler's like real skiing. Blue Mountains, I don't know what that is. But those people are taking a beating. All those people are taking a beating because at the end of the day, those kind of Airbnb, Vrbo things are discretionary. That's discretionary income. And when the economy starts to tank, that discretionary kind of, weekly, weekend, 2-week, it's just gone. It just disappears. And it's empty because, nobody actually wanted to be a long-term tenant of that cottage in Muskoka. Nobody wanted it at all. So you were putting all your chips on one single thing. That's it, one single thing. And when that goes away, you go essentially to zero rent, or a rent that is not even close. It's like 50, 60% less than what you can survive on based on your mortgage and your taxes and your other carrying costs. You're done. You're just done. You got to throw away. Here's the keys, lender. I got to go. Okay. I give up. So yes, these key areas are what's just put the stake through the heart of power cells. These are, in many cases, these are private lenders. So far in GTA, the private lenders are just getting destroyed on these things, and the banks are starting to feel it, and it'll probably grow. But the outcomes we're experiencing, the very bad outcomes we're experiencing, are not just the condos. There's other problems too.